First, a fruit. Hito Hito no Mi model Nika. This is the power that deceived the entire world for 800 years. For the vast majority of the story, appearing from the very first chapter of the manga, this fruit was known simply as the Gomu Gomu no Mi, or Gum Gum fruit. It was classified as a paramecia that turned the user's body into rubber. However, deep into the Wano country arc, a terrifying truth was revealed by the five elders. The world government had been hunting this specific fruit for centuries, and it had always evaded them, almost as if it had a will of its own. In reality, this is a mythical zoan type. It does not just turn you into rubber, it allows you to transform into the legendary Sun God Nika, the warrior of liberation. The mechanics of this fruit are bound only by the user's imagination. In its base form, it grants the standard rubber properties we saw for over 2 decades, stretching, inflating, and insulating against electricity. Luffy utilized this to create his gears, pumping blood faster for speed in Gear 2, inflating his bones for power in Gear 3, and inflating his muscles with haki for elasticity in Gear 4. But the awakening, dubbed Gear 5, is where the true power lies. Awakened during the climax of the raid on Onigashima after Luffy effectively died, his heartbeat returned as the Drums of Liberation. In this state, the user's rubber body becomes exponentially more malleable and free. He can turn his surroundings into rubber, bouncing off the ground or reflecting attacks. He can even apply rubber physics to living opponents, turning a terrifying dragon like Kaido into a jump rope or punching through a head and having the eyes pop out cartoonishly. It is described as the most ridiculous power in the world. The only cost is immense stamina drain, leaving the user looking visibly aged and withered until they recover. It recontextualizes the entire series. Luffy isn't just a rubber man, he is the embodiment of freedom itself. Second, fruit, Gura Gura no Mi. Known as the Tremor fruit, this paramecia is widely acknowledged as the strongest in its class, possessing the raw power to destroy the world. It allows the user to generate massive vibrations or shock waves that travel through any medium, air, ground, or sea. It first appeared during the chaotic events of the Jaya arc, but was fully demonstrated during the Summit War of Marineford. Originally wielded by Edward Newgate, Whitebeard, the fruit allows the user to grab the air itself as if it were solid and crack it like glass. These atmospheric cracks send devastating shockwaves capable of tilting entire islands, destroying oversized naval fortresses, and generating massive tsunamis. The mechanics focus on pure, indiscriminate destruction. The user can focus vibrations into a quake bubble around their fist for concentrated damage, capable of taking down giants in a single hit, or release omnidirectional quakes that flatten everything in the vicinity. However, its greatest strength is its greatest weakness. The power is difficult to contain. It creates friendly fire risks, forcing allies to keep their distance. In a twist that shook the lore, after Whitebeard's death at Marineford, Marshal D. Teach, Blackbeard, performed a mysterious, forbidden method under a black cloth to steal this power from Whitebeard's corpse. This made Blackbeard the first known individual to wield 2 devil fruit powers simultaneously. Currently, he uses the Gura Gura no Mi to create destruction, combining it with his darkness to level playing fields instantly. Third, fruit, Yami Yami no Mi. The dark fruit is a unique logia that is considered the most evil of all devil fruits. It was introduced during the post-Enies Lobby conflict when Ace hunted down Blackbeard. Unlike other logias, this fruit does not allow the user to become intangible to let attacks pass through them. In fact, the user absorbs more pain than a normal human because darkness pulls in everything, including pain. Its power is gravity. The user creates a spreading darkness that swallows everything: light, matter, buildings, and people. This black hole compresses whatever is inside with infinite gravity, crushing it before the user expels the debris with liberation. However, its most terrifying application is the Kuruzu, or Black Vortex. This technique uses gravity to pull devil fruit users toward the user's hand. Once the user grabs them, the Yami Yami no Mi completely nullifies the victim's devil fruit abilities. A rubber man becomes normal flesh. A fire man becomes solid. This makes Blackbeard a natural predator to all ability users. The fruit's history is bloody. It was found by Thatch of the Whitebeard Pirates. Blackbeard, who had memorized the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia, recognized it immediately. He waited decades for this specific fruit, and when it appeared, he murdered his crewmate Thatch to possess it, setting into motion the capture of Ace and the war that ended an era. Fourth, fruit Magu Magu no Mi. The Magma fruit is a logia of the highest offensive tier. It allows the user to create, control, and transform into magma. It was eaten by Sakazuki, known as Admiral Akainu. First fully unleashed during the Marineford War, this fruit represents absolute lethality. The magma produced is far hotter than normal fire, allowing Akainu to burn things that shouldn't be burnable, including the fire of the Mera Mera no Mi. This hierarchy of elements led to the tragic death of Ace, whose fire body was overwhelmed and punched through by Akainu's magma fist. The mechanics are straightforward but devastating. The user can launch fists of magma that expand into massive volcanic meteors, die Funka, rain down volcanic rock, or tunnel underground by melting the earth. The offensive power is so high that Akainu was able to melt off a portion of Whitebeard's face and vaporize his internal organs with a single blow. Its impact on the world is permanent. During the time skip, Akainu and Aokiji fought for 10 days on Punk Hazard to decide the new fleet admiral. The result permanently altered the island's climate. One half is now a burning hellscape of constant eruptions, a testament to the Magu Magu no Mi's awakening or residual power. Fifth, fruit, Ope Ope no Mi. The Operation Fruit is a paramecia known as the ultimate devil fruit. It is so valuable that the world government was once willing to pay 5 billion berries for it. It allows the user to create a spherical territory called Room. Inside this room, the user is God. Wielded by Trafalgar Law, the fruit allows for the spatial manipulation of anything inside the sphere. He can teleport objects or people, shambles, scan bodies for diseases, and cut people apart without killing them or drawing blood. He can even swap the personalities of people, as seen during the Punk Hazard arc. Mechanics include countershock, defibrillator attacks, gamma knife, destroying internal organs without piercing the skin, and injection shot. However, the fruit drains the user's stamina rapidly. The size of the room is directly tied to the user's energy reserves. The fruit's dark legend comes from the perennial youth operation. The user can perform a surgery to grant another person eternal youth, but doing so costs the user their life. This specific ability drives much of the underworld tension surrounding the fruit. In the Wano arc, Law revealed his awakening. He can now coat his sword in a specific room, K-room, that allows it to phase through matter and extend miles long, or attach a room to a person, AR, room, to silence them completely, a technique he used to defeat Big Mom. Sixth, fruit Wo no Mi, model Seiryu. The fish fruit, model. Azure Dragon is a mythical Zoan given to Kaido by Big Mom 38 years ago at God Valley. It is the embodiment of the strongest creature. It allows the user to transform into a gigantic, serpentine azure dragon or a human dragon hybrid. The full dragon form is the size of a small town. In this form, Kaido can fly by generating flame clouds, which he can also use to lift entire islands, as he did with Onigashima during the Wano raid. The offensive capabilities are cataclysmic. The user can breathe a beam of heat, blast breath, that vaporizes mountains, generate tornadoes, dragon twister, and summon lightning. The scales of the dragon form are incredibly tough, impervious to almost all standard attacks. Only advanced haki, Ryu, or internal damage techniques can penetrate them. The impact of this fruit allowed Kaido to occupy Wano for 20 years, turning it into a weapons factory protected by a literal dragon. Its durability is its signature. Kaido jumped from a sky island 10,000 meters in the air and stood up with a headache. Seventh, fruit Tori no Mi, model Phoenix, a mythical zone rarer. Then Logia types. This fruit allows Marco to transform into a phoenix. Its primary ability is not destruction, but resurrection and healing. The user is cloaked in blue flames of resurrection. These flames are not hot and do not burn things. Instead, they heal wounds instantly. Marco can take direct hits from Admiral-level attacks, including Kizaru's light beams and Akainu's magma, and regenerate the damage in seconds. This makes him the ultimate staller and tank. The flames can also be applied to others to speed up their healing, though less effectively than on the user. In combat, the user can transform their limbs into phoenix talons for swift aerial kicks. The weakness is that there is a limit to the regeneration based on the user's stamina. Eventually, they can be worn down. First appearing casually when Marco met Shanks, its full glory was revealed at Marineford, where Marco intercepted Kizaru's attack to save Whitebeard, cementing the fruit's status as a legendary defense. 8th, Fruit Mero Mero no Mi. The Love fruit is a paramecia wielded by the pirate empress Boa Hancock. It allows the user to turn people into stone. While it seems simple, it is one of the most dangerous one-shot abilities in the series. The activation requirement is emotion, wicked thoughts, or lust. If a target feels any attraction toward the user, Hancock's signature Mero Mero Mellow Beam turns them instantly to stone. Given Hancock's status as the most beautiful woman in the world, this works on 99% of the population. However, the fruit has contact-based applications that do not require lust. Attacks like Perfume Femur allow Hancock to turn body parts to stone on physical impact and shatter them, effectively bypassing durability. She can also turn inanimate objects, like cannonballs, to stone. The fruit was forced upon her by world nobles for their entertainment. A key weakness is that it requires the target to have focused attention and emotion. Luffy, who is pure-hearted and dense, is completely immune to the lust-based beam, shocking Hancock and starting their unique relationship. 9th, Fruit Goro Goro no Mi. The lightning fruit is a logia that Enel used to rule Scipia as a god. It allows the user to turn into electricity, travel at lightning speeds through conductive materials, and discharge up to 200 million volts. Its utility is terrifying. Enel combined this fruit with his observation haki, Mantra, to pick up electromagnetic waves from conversations, allowing him to hear everything happening across the entire country of Skypiea. He could then strike anyone down with a pillar of lightning, El Thor, from miles away without ever seeing them. He can jumpstart his own heart if it stops. He can melt gold and reshape it into weapons mid-fight. For a long time, this was considered an invincible fruit. Its only natural counter is rubber, which acts as an insulator. This led to the famous Enel Face shock, when his lightning failed to harm Luffy. Without that specific elemental counter, Enel would have likely been unbeatable by anyone in the first half of the Grand Line. 10th, Fruit Hito no Mi. The string fruit is a paramecia used by the heavenly demon Don Quixote do Flamingo. It grants the power to create and manipulate strings. While it sounds weak, Doflamingo's mastery made it a nightmare. The strings are nearly invisible and durable enough to cut through meteors. Doflamingo uses them to attach to clouds, allowing him to fly by swinging through the sky. He can attach strings to people's spines, controlling them like marionettes in his parasite technique, forcing kings to slaughter their own citizens. During the Dressrosa arc, we saw its terrifying peak, the birdcage. Doflamingo created a dome of razor-sharp strings around the entire island that slowly contracted, slicing through buildings and people, intending to massacre everyone inside. Doflamingo also debuted the concept of paramecia, awakening with this fruit. He turned the ground and buildings around him into massive strands of string, controlling the environment to hunt Luffy. 11th, Fruit Pika Pika no Mi. The Glint, or Light. Fruit is a logia wielded by Admiral Kizaru. It transforms the user into light, granting the ability to move and attack at the speed of light. Introduced at Sabaudi Archipelago, Kizaru demonstrated the sheer gap in power between rookies and admirals. He can fire explosive light beams from his fingers and feet that cause massive explosions, similar to laser weaponry. He can materialize a sword made of pure light, Ama no Murakumo. The speed is the defining factor. Kizaru can teleport instantly via reflection or straight lines. His signature kick involves him asking, "Have you ever been kicked at the speed of light?" before delivering a blow that sends the target crashing through multiple giant mangrove trees. Standard physical attacks pass through him. To fight him, one needs high-level observation haki to predict where the light will reform, and armament haki to touch him. Despite his overwhelming power, Kizaru often acts lethargic, perhaps to mitigate the destruction he causes. 12. Fruit Suna Suna no Mi. The Sand fruit is a logia used by Crocodile. It allows the user to generate, control, and become sand. Beyond just physical attacks, sand blades, sandstorms, its most dangerous ability is dehydration. Crocodile can drain the moisture out of anything he touches with his right hand. He can turn a lush forest into a desert in seconds, or mummify a human body into a dried husk instantly. Crocodile used this to stage a coup in Alabasta, creating artificial droughts to frame the king. He can also sense movement through the sand, locating underground aquifers or sneaking enemies. However, it has a glaring weakness: liquids. If the user is hit with water, or blood, the sand clumps together, preventing them from turning intangible. Luffy exploited this by covering himself in water and later his own blood to punch Crocodile solid. 13th. Fruit Mera Mera no Mi. The Flame fruit is a logia with a legacy of tragedy and inheritance. It allows the user to become and control fire. First held by port guest D. Ace, Luffy's brother, it allowed him to earn a high bounty and a commander position on Whitebeard's ship. Ace used it to destroy fleets of ships with his Fire Fist, Hyken, and create a miniature sun, Flame Emperor. After Ace's death, the fruit reincarnated. In the Dressrosa arc, Doflamingo used it as bait in a Colosseum tournament to trap Luffy. Instead, Sabo, the third brother, entered the ring, won the tournament, and ate the fruit. Sabo now combines the explosive power of the fruit with his Dragon Claw martial arts. The fruit represents the inherited will of Ace. It grants flight via jet propulsion and intangibility, but as noted, it is elementally inferior to magma, a fact that cost Ace his life.